This episode of Rick and Rick Rule the World is brought to you by Taskin, the first name in ultra-stylish, premium quality travel gear, like the exquisitely designed Taskin One expandable backpack. With 9 practical variations, the Taskin One is always the right size for wherever life takes you next. Save 30% on your next purchase when you use the promo code R&R Take 30. That's R&R Take 30 at TaskinSF.com.
Next up, it's time for a quick round of Rick and Rick Loaded Question. And welcome back to Rick and Rick Rule the World. Rick Matheson and Rick Wooten, and it's time for Loaded Questions. All right, question number 1. As part of its latest augmented reality-based initiatives, Snapchat is rolling out A, ChartGPT, personalized AR-based content generated by AI in response to fan queries and shout-outs at live music festivals. B, AR cosplay lenses for Comic-Con 2023, including the ability to do mashups like Chewbacca's Angels, Mr. Potato Modoc, Jon Snow White, and Winnie the Pooh emoji. C, prom season AR mirrors at the Men's Warehouse. Or D, AR snapshots posing with Rick and Rick. As part of its latest augmented reality-based initiative, Snapchat is rolling out what?
I think it's the first one. I think they're rolling out integration with ChatGPT.
You would think because everybody else is, but no, in this instance, it is C, prom season AR mirrors at the Men's Warehouse. You can go into the changing room, the mirrors are interactive, and you can say, you want to see the blue color, the different tie and jacket, and that kind of thing, and it pops it over your image. And it's specific to prom season, which is huge for Men's Warehouse. What I found encouraging, Rick, is that it's at Men's Warehouse, meaning that this technology is starting to become mainstream. Years ago, I was talking about this in one of my books, and I wanted to see this magic mirror technology at Prada's Epicenter store in Beverly Hills. It was when this stuff was brand new and very expensive. And you walk into this store and you have these changing rooms with these mirrors. On these mirrors, you could pull up other items to see virtually. And the whole idea of it was to be able to share on social media, hey, this looked fly or forget about it right there, and ask your social media followers, should I get this item? What I subsequently learned is that is not how consumers used this technology. Consumers love this technology, girls in particular. What happened is they'd all take over all the dressing rooms and then share it between each other. Hey, do you like this on me or do you like this on me? So that they didn't have to leave the room. They could keep changing stuff virtually. So that was interesting. So here we have an application where it's at a mainstream store. I hope it's a successful initiative. I hope we see more of this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Question number 2, 787 million. That is A, the average calorie count for a meal at Cheesecake Factory. B, the dollar amount Fox News paid for baseless claims about the 2020 election. C, the total viewing minutes for Ghosted during its first 24 hours of release on Apple TV. Or D, the number of unique listeners worldwide for Rick and Rick Rule the World. 787 million is what?
But ironically, 787 is the Dreamliner, which is the plane that I flew in when going back and forth to Europe, which is kind of funny.
Oh, well, aren't you snazzy? Did you have one of those seats where was it a bed?
Well, it reclined. It wasn't a bed. Okay. But I think the answer, if I'm remembering correctly, was the Fox News one, that was the lawsuits paid out after the claims about the 2020 election.
You are correct. Answer is B. So $787.5 million is the amount paid by Fox News to settle the massive defamation suit filed against the network by voting machine manufacturer Dominion in the aftermath of the 2020 election. What was interesting here, Rick, and it's important for media, is defamation is tough because it's not whether Fox News hosts aired falsehoods. The judge immediately determined that they'd had. Rather, and I saw this in Vox, Dominion had to prove that Fox displayed a reckless disregard for the truth in doing so. The bad news for Fox is Dominion was able to unearth seemed like pretty overwhelming evidence to that end during discovery, demonstrating, for instance, that Fox News hosts were saying one thing on air about the 2020 elections being somehow rigged in part because of something to do with Dominion's machines, and they were saying something entirely different in private conversations. So they settled. But the bad news for Fox is it's also just the beginning, because this is going to be followed by the $2.7 billion lawsuit filed by Smartmatic.
Wow.
All right, final question. According to MarketWatch, use of the term generative AI in quarterly earnings calls this year have A, been paired with the phrase, everybody loves Skynet, B jumped 75%, C dropped 42%, or D disappeared completely. According to MarketWatch, use of the term generative AI in quarterly earnings calls this year have done what?
I'm going to say B.
You are correct. Amid the frenzy for all things generative AI, MarketWatch is reporting that mentions of AI or artificial intelligence in quarterly earnings calls have soared 75% so far this year over 2022. But according to Morning Consult, brands' boastful marketing claims around AI are just confusing to many consumers. In fact, 57% of consumers say that they are not very confident or not at all confident that they understand what, quote, powered by AI means. Another 26% are somewhat confident, leaving just 17% of all U.S. adults who feel very confident that they understand what that means when they see or hear it in marketing copy. The numbers get even worse, Rick, for phrases like AI text generation or, this surprised me, AI task automation. But as Morning Consult reports, graphic design software company Canva has decided that instead of saying the term AI when describing its AI-backed tools, it's decided that a better word to use is magic. Magic. It's our magic tools, powered by magic. Rick Wooten, before we go, why don't you tell folks where they can find you online?
Best way to find me is always on Twitter. I'm at Wooten, Wootten. And how about yourself, Matheson?
My handle is at Rick Matheson on Twitter. And of course, you can subscribe to us on iTunes and everywhere that you get your podcasts. And you can listen to more archived episodes or read posts about each of our shows at rickandrick.com. Until next time, stay safe, keep each other safe, and keep on coming back to the one show where everybody's name is Rick.
And everybody rules the world.